32 by now. 36 maybe.
Tell the true story coming back to the
Okay,
van.
so this is a Sergeant Major Booker story. So Sergeant Major Booker, obviously, he's my senior drill instructor, and he was hard. He was not as hard as Sergeant Titzer. Sergeant Titzer was evil, and I say that because he was so bad that on occasion Booker would sneak in on Sundays to make sure Titzer was not killing recruits. And the funny thing there is, Sergeant Titzer was PAO, so he was he took photos for the Marine Corps, and he was the meanest drill instructor we had. And Sergeant Major Booker was a Force Recon Marine.
Did you ever see Titzer again after that?
I did see Titzer again after that, and he was really cool. We saw him I was going through SOI, and he was a senior drill instructor at the time. And he was like, totally changed attitude, and like, I'm a senior drill instructor now, and that was the job. And I'm, to me, I knew all that stuff was part of going through boot camp, so it didn't bother me. But yeah, he was evil. So anyway, Sergeant Major Booker, he's my senior drill instructor. I think it's 4 years. 4 years have gone by. We're up in San Francisco. I'm with my sniper partner Hayes for true training, and we had just finished zeroing our M40s at.
That's tactical readiness, urban environment.
We just finished zeroing our M40s. I can't remember where. Right off the coast of San Francisco. And we use these little minivans to get around. So true training is all in civilian clothes. It was, once again, more training that the Marine Corps needs to bring back in because of the best training we ever did, as far as I'm concerned. But
shutting down city blocks, fucking gas leaks, SWAT involvement, but really it's fucking the Marine Corps and some other elements coming in, and they will literally collapse a building from the top down, bottom up. Guys will breach the doors, explosive breach the doors, fast rope helicopters, multiple points of entry, multiple delivery, and they've just cordoned off city blocks and fucking evacuated them, or not evacuated them in some cases. It's usually the target's usually an empty building, YMCA building, courthouse, fucking shopping mall, anything like that. But it is a full military assault, live rounds. Everything. Sometimes they're traveling on train, like they can be right next to you. It looks like a softball team. You have no fucking clue. The RNS element is in place a week ahead of time, where the hinges, where the doors, roving patrols, lights, you name it. Like, and this shit is happening right in San Diego, right in Los Angeles, right in Las Vegas. I mean, it happens all over. You just never fucking know. When you hear about something exploded last night or a SWAT involvement, half the time it was active military training.
Yeah. And they don't do it anymore. It got a little too big and a little too out of hand. They started bringing way too many outside elements in it, so they stopped doing it out in town. Anyways, so we're in San Francisco. We're doing this thing, and I'm walking from the range. Me and Hayes are walking from the range. Chris Hayes was in the sister series. Went through boot camp same time I did, and we're walking towards this van, and we're probably 50 yards away. And I'm like, "Hey, Chris," and he's like, "What?" I go, "That's fucking Booker sitting in the van." And Chris is like, "Holy shit, that is Booker in the van." And we're walking and we're slowing down a little bit because Booker's sitting in the van and he's sitting right next to the door. So there's no way to get in the van without really kind of getting right up in, you know how it is when you're getting in a minivan. Yeah. So we're slowing down, and Chris is he's trying to encourage me. He's like, "Fuck, man, you know how many platoons he ran through boot camp? Had to have been 20 or 30. You know how many guys that is? That's thousands of recruits." We're walking towards the van. He's like, there is no way that he remembers you. There's just no way. There's too many faces, too many recruits. He goes, "There's no way." And so, I'm getting that confidence a little bit, thinking, yeah, he don't remember who I am. There's no way. And so we're walking. It's been 4 years. How the hell would he remember that? So we're walking to the van, and we get up to the van. And like I said, he's kind of blocking the way in. So Sergeant McCrate, who's one of the RNS instructors, he's talking to us a little bit and yelling at us for shit we did the night before. And I'm standing there, and we're not getting in the van. And Booker, he's writing shit in his notebook. So he's writing shit in his notebook. He looks out real quick, and then he's still writing shit in his notebook. And I'm like, all right, well, he probably doesn't remember us. And he fucking stops writing, and he goes, looks right at me, goes, what's wrong, Skulderon? You afraid to get in the van next to your senior drill instructor? Fucking burned me right there. Knew exactly who we were. Yeah, knew exactly who we were. It's fucking crazy. And then I worked for him for 3 years while I was SOTG. He took over and became the head RNS instructor. Then he went from there to sniper school. They had a little incident at sniper school. He had to go take care of that. And then I don't think I worked for him again. Saw him again, met up with him again when he was sergeant major in charge of Amtrak's down at Camp Pendleton. What a waste of a good sergeant major, but well-rounded Marine Corps.
Did you work at sniper school with him when he was there?
No, not at sniper school. Yeah, they moved him there because they needed an NCOIC real quick. So, yeah, he'd already left. He'd already fixed everything and left.
So when you guys went into Somalia, or
Somalia.
You guys were out in the ocean.
Yeah, out in the ocean.
Waiting to go in, and didn't go in because somebody was already there.
No.
Is that not the case?
No, Somalia, we were actually in Singapore. So the MEU was in Singapore. We had pulled into... Our Westpac was supposed to go into the Persian Gulf. The Marine Corps was still fighting the last war, which was in the Persian Gulf, which was the first Gulf War. So the Marines kept going into the Persian Gulf. But we were in Singapore when the Black Hawk Down thing happened. And so they're like, this is exactly what they told us. Ranger Battalion just got fucking hit. Bunch of guys have been killed. We don't know how many. Shit is going down in Somalia. The MEU is going to Somalia now. So I think we actually left people in Singapore because people were already off the boat, and then they're like, hey, whoever's here is here, we're leaving. They can catch up later. So we battle steamed, which is the only time I've ever seen that happen. I did 6 Westpacs, and it was the only time they ever battle steamed. But we battle steamed to the coast of Somalia. It took us 2 days, 2.5 days to get there after Black Hawk Down. So I'm on the big deck. I want to say it was... I might be fucking this up. It was either the Peleliu. I think it was the Peleliu at the time.
That's an amphibious assault.
Amphibious assault ship, the helicopter ship. Well, normally when you're cruising around going wherever, they're only going like 10 or 12 knots. They're not going very fast. Well, that big ship, believe it or not, can go 23 knots. That's outside of the realm of what they're supposed to do, but they punch it. And you have this huge ship, and the whole ship, the entire time, is shaking like it's going to fall apart because we are hauling ass. None of the other Gator ships could even keep up with us. We were off the coast in 2.5 days. I think it took them. I took everybody else another day or a day and a half to catch up. So we get there. We're off the coast of Somalia, and we have no maps, nothing. The Army is requesting sniper support. They want snipers to come ashore and fill position that Special Forces guys were filling, so the Special Forces guys could go out and do the hearts and minds and whatever the Special Forces guys are doing. So once again, this is what we get. We get there, they're like, shit has gone crazy. 17 Rangers, this is what we have now. And they're watching... Don't think that the military...
Watching CNN.
Yeah, we're watching CNN. That's where they're getting the information. So they're watching CNN and they're like, 17 Rangers have been killed, blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking disaster. You guys are going ashore. What do you need? Well, we honestly think, we're on the ship, and we honestly think we are going to land on the beach and have to fight our way to the embassy or some crazy shit. So we got... Shit, everybody's got like 6 grenades, claymore mines, enough... 5.56 and 7.62 ammunition to fight off a battalion, and this is just 9 snipers. I mean, they brought... Schmidt was down there juggling grenades. I mean, it was crazy how much ammunition they gave us.
Without question.
Yeah, us 9. It was 9 snipers that they wanted to come ashore. Us 9 snipers to go ashore.
Can't even use the shit in training. Yeah. Here it is.
All right.
I've never... At the time, I was carrying a an M40 and an M16. They gave me an M203 with the fucking grenades. And all. I've never fired a real HEDP round. Right. It was all Blue Death up to that point. And so they're giving us all this shit. And we load up. And we're gonna fight our way, raise the Marine Corps flag at the embassy and win the war in Somalia. The 9 snipers. And so they fly us to shore. They fly us to the UN compound. We get to the UN compound and we land. And we get off the helicopter and Kevlars and flak jackets and grenades and just all our stupid shit. We had everything ready to go. We were going to fight our way into the embassy. And there is a warrant officer, an Army warrant officer, who meets us at the LZ. He's in a cut-off shirt, flip-flops, and a pair of shorts. And he comes out and he's like, "Hey, are you the snipers that are supposed to be here?" We're like, "Yep, this is all of us." And he's like, "Oh, come on. Just leave your packs there. We'll have somebody come get them. And come on, we're going to show you where you're living." And so, a little bit of culture shock. It's like Beach Party USA there. There's not fucking rockets coming in or anything like we thought. We get to the J Soda compound. This is going way too long. But we get to the J Soda compound, and this is the reason why the Army and the Marine Corps don't mix very well. We get to J Soda compound, and the colonel comes out and he's like, "Hey, all right, this is going to be your area right here." And they have, which are kind of commonplace now, but back in that time, they were brand new. The Air Force had set up all these new plastic tents. Brand new, high-speed tents. And that's what they were all living in. Every tent had an air conditioner unit. I mean, it was, for Marines, that was like, holy shit, luxury of lifestyle. So he's like, Colonel's like, "You guys are going to live here." And he's like, what do you guys have for living quarters? At the time, the United States Marine Corps, the cutting edge, we were still using shelter halves from World War II. So we had these things, they button up and turn into a little pup tent, and 2 people sleep in it. And so we're like, our staff sergeant's like, "We'll set our shelter halves up right here. You're covered in the lot," doing the whole Marine Corps thing. And the colonel goes, "What did you say?" He goes, What kind of tent do you have?" And he's like, "Shelter halves. It's what they issue us, shelter halves." And the colonel looks around, he goes, "I am not having any goddamn shelter halves set up in my AO. There is no way. There's no way." And so
somebody might take a picture.
Yeah, he calls the master sergeant. Master sergeant comes over and he's, "What do you need?" He goes, They need a tent. Get him a tent." And so master sergeant takes off and comes back, and he's got this tent. Drops it down. Huge tent. They brought in with a forklift. Remember, we're at the command center. So, Colonel's standing there, and he's like, "All right, just put this tent up, and it'll be good to go. This is where you'll sleep." And he tells the tech sergeant, one of the Air Force tech sergeants, make sure they get an air conditioner. And our platoon sergeant's like, no, we won't have an air conditioner. And he goes, "Why do you not want an air conditioner?" He goes, "The Marines need to be acclimatized. Right. They need to know the weather." And he goes, "That's a valid point, Staff Sergeant." He goes, "But I am not going to walk from my air-conditioned office into this tent and it be 120 degrees. Get them an air conditioner." Right? So they get this tent. Remember, this tent, the Marine Corps has never seen these tents. Maybe at Headquarters Marine Corps, some sort of experimental lab, they may have put one up, but we've never seen one of these tents before. So he's like, "All right." Master Sergeant's like, "Okay, yeah, you just put it up and you'll be good to go." Everybody's looking at this thing, and it's huge, and it's got all these fucking pipes and shit. And he goes, "Have you ever put one of these together?" "No, the Marine Corps does not currently have that tent. We've never put one of these together. We have no idea even where to start." And so he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it." 2 minutes later, there's a major, a warrant officer, a master sergeant, and a gunny, Marine Corps gunny, come out of the COC, and they spend 45 minutes putting up the tent for the Marines to live in. Right? So we get this tent all up. Guy comes over to do the air conditioner. He's putting the air conditioner in, and it was still dirt floor. Once again, dirt floor. So we're setting our cots up and setting, just kind of trying to move in. Colonel comes in. He's like, "How do you like the damn tent?" And we're like, "Oh, we love it," and everything. He's like, "Is the air conditioner working right? Because if it's not working right, I got a guy." And we're like, "No, it's fine. It's like 30 degrees in here." And so he's looking around, looks down at the ground. He's like, "Oh, yeah, this ain't going to do. This ain't going to do." And we're like, "What? What?" He's like, "The dirt floor. You need to get some pallets and put some pallets in here and get it all squared away so you got a wood floor." And once again, our staff sergeant's like, No, we don't need. We're fine. Dirt floor, 29 palms. We always sleep on the dirt." And he goes, "No, you don't understand. When I come in here, I don't want to be standing on the dirt floor." Right. So needless to say, we had a nice wooden floor. The air conditioner kept that tent so cold that we literally had to send a message back to the ship that the next time they come in to get the mail, that they need to drop our sleeping bags off because it was too cold in the tent. Damn. That was the beginning of Somalia.
So when did you guys start running operations?
The next day.
Where was the Navy during all this?
Well, they kept all the ninjas offshore. Basically, all the ninjas.
Weren't there some ninjas ashore?
Yeah, well,
before you guys.
No, they were there at the same time. So all the ninjas got sequestered. The army basically, because they were operating under the UN, blah blah blah. They only wanted snipers, like school trained snipers. And so the SEALs that were attached to our MU, they were holding them in place because they didn't know if they were going to have to do direct action, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the Force Recon guys. Like as soon as they said they just wanted snipers, everybody was like, "Hey, I'm a sniper, I'm a sniper." So you got all these Force Recon guys. Fortunately for us, the MU commander was like, "No, that's their job. That's what we pay them to do. They're going to do that. You guys are going to do CQB shit. We need you here on the ship in case you've got to go take some building down or some shit." Well, a carrier group shows up at the same time. Carrier group shows up, same thing. They're like, our commander's like, "No, leave all these assets on ship in case some shit goes down that we really need to send these assets in."
Every carrier group has two SEAL platoons, one SEAL platoon.
I think at the time they just had one platoon there, and then because the MU takes a platoon too. So unfortunately, the admiral in charge of the carrier group outranks the guy in charge of the fucking
battlefield
of the battlefield. So he's like, "No, I'm sending my SEALs. I'm sending my SEALs ashore." So he sends 14 SEAls ashore. But that's another story. We should save that.
I heard they got invited back on the ship.
They did.
They wrecked so much of the fucking country that they took the ninjas back out into the water.
Yes, they did get invited back to the ship, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother hour.
All right, we'll film. We got one more dude we're gonna film. We'll break these. We'll do that as a whole separate video. The Booker story.
Okay.
And then it's got to kind of fit in, but
just make it a second part
because part of it does go with that fucking little cunt. But I had on Instagram last night, so I knew it would start. That's why I put up the fucking pictures. We put up pictures of bolt bags because it gets a lot of traffic. We have, how many, pan over there, how many bolt bags are sitting up top right there?
I think there's 4 or 5 of them up there.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5.
So we got 6 on
6.
deck.
So bolt bags, you used to sell bolt bags. How come I can't get a bolt bag? No, we've never sold bolt bags. We made bolt bags for NSW. The only people we have ever sold bolt bags to were some SEAL platoons, Team 7 Foxtrot, some Team 3 guys, Mike Sotelo, Mike Sorelli, who else was over there? John Kelly, Rockstar Platoon. There was a 7 and 3 got the bolt bags. That's who we designed them with. The original bolt bags had on the top, on the back, they were made to go under the seat or on the back of a seat. Had 2 mag pouches, so you had 4 M4 mags, 2 SIG 226 mags. They were running SIGs even back then. 3 frags upside down. 2 thermite grenades so they could blow their radio comm and crypto gear in place in case they didn't have time to pull it from the vehicle. They could blow all their crypto loads. and then 2 pop-ups. This is one of them right here. This is actually one. This is the original prototype. Yeah. It's a little rough. It's changed not much, but you get the idea. 2 thermites, 2 pop flares for signaling, 2 M4 mags, 2 Sig mags, 3 frags. Now this one, I believe, the ones we did for the Navy had mesh pockets. They were carrying stuff for signaling, IR chem lights on 550 cords so they could signal in aircraft, some GSW stuff, and there was a couple other things. Carried a hydro or a radio. I think we were way beyond the 119 SINGUAR, the little SINGUARs, the little packable one back then.
Back then we were still the big ones.
And then we just made modular ones. We started making some modular backpacks to go to SHOT Show the first year in like 2006, 2005. We built some up. Jeremy Horton got one. The guys that worked for me got one. We've built maybe 10 of them. Every year we go to SHOT Show, we'd build some to take to SHOT Show, and then we'd gift them to people.
Like I got one on accident.
You have one?
Yeah, I got the Blade Show.
You stole one.
I did not steal it. You said take whatever you want. I said okay, I'm taking this. And I thought it was a hydro carrier, so I took it.
That's like saying take whatever you want, and you walk out in the car and grab. You go out to the parking lot 2 miles away.
No,
I'll take the car.
That thing was sitting right on the table, ready to go. I think I even took paperwork out of it and handed it to Amanda.
That's because it was my bag. What happened was we were at the hotel sleeping. We weren't going to be at the show to open the show. Jeff opened the fucking show. He's like, I'll handle it. I got it. Because Jeff, like, we started the first shows we ever went to. Jeff was at the shows. Before he was with Strider, when he was active duty, he was doing shows with us and shit. Hey, what's up, guys? Go ahead and turn that off. We'll finish this up in a minute.
All right.